You're watching News Channel 18 at 6. News from where you live.
When you think about public safety, police officers may be the first thing to come to mind, but without judges and prosecuting attorneys, there would be no way to punish people for their crimes.
In part one of the cost of justice, News Channel 18's Kristen Majorano looks into the budget at the Tippecanoe County Courthouse to see just how much of your money is needed to put criminals behind bars.
Before a criminal ends up here, he has to start here.
The prosecutor's office is basically the hub that moves the criminal justice system.
When you're talking public safety, that office's role is reflected in the budget. In 2010, the Tippecanoe County Council allocated nearly $1.9 million to the prosecutor's office. That's about 5% of the total county budget. Add in the magistrate courts, circuit court, and superior courts 1 through 6, and you're up to $4.3 million. Throw in another $1.35 million for the public defender's office and $1.1 million for probation, and the cost of justice in Tippecanoe County accounts for 18% of its 2010 budget. Prosecutor Pat Harrington says it's a necessary expense to keep our neighborhoods safe.
When you reduce the budget in the criminal justice system, you're going to directly affect the safety of the streets. It's that simple. 10 years ago, gangs weren't even thought of in Tippecanoe County. Now we have 38 documented gangs. We have a 211% increase in gangs since 2009 to 2010.
So what will $6.8 million buy you these days? Harrington says his office prosecuted 53 jury trials in 2007 and 51 in 2008. In other words, he's on par for about a trial a week. If you isolate his budget, you could say the prosecutor's office used about $36,000 per trial. But it's not that simple.
Because the only line item that you could look at it would be how much does the court pay for the jurors? Because all the other players in the system are already factored in. They're already getting paid yearly. So to my office, does it cost any more to do a jury trial? No, that person's being paid per year as part of their compensation.
If you're talking cost per trial, you could break down how much the county sets aside to pay jurors. The courts that use juries set aside a total of $41,000 in 2010. In October, 2 courts requested an additional $13,000 to cover jury costs, bringing the total so far this year to $54,000. That's a little more than $1,000 per trial for jury expenses alone. But Harrington says you have to remember the duties of departments in the courthouse go far beyond trials. In
2009, we had 4,800 misdemeanor cases we filed. We had 1,350 D felony cases, and we had 460 A, B, and C felonies.
That's a total of 6,610 cases in 2009. Assuming the prosecutor's office had a similar caseload in 2010, if you factor that number into expenses across all the departments in the courthouse, you're looking at an expense of about $1,022 per case. Add in the 15,000 traffic violations processed each year, and you're just under $313 per case. Harrington says that's just the tip of the iceberg and doesn't include the 20,000 police reports his office reviews every year before deciding whether to file charges. However you break it down, Harrington says there's still a constant effort to save the county money.
I've returned over $753,000 back to the budget in 3 years of funds that were not spent. And we've done that by a reduction in staff. I've reduced our staff 10% in 3 years and turning the technology to be more efficient.
Ironically, though, he says if too much is cut from the legal budget, the county could end up losing more money in the long run.
If we do not do our job efficiently in a timely manner, the whole system will bog down from there, because that means people will sit in the county jail longer because the charges may take longer to file, longer to prosecute. That costs the county taxpayers money for every day a person's in that facility. It then adds to the caseload volume on the clerk's office, the judge's staff, the judge, and ultimately it will add to the probation staff. And
Harrington says there's one main reason he wants the necessary cases to be prosecuted in a timely manner.
At some point in time, the system can't get any leaner without affecting the public safety. And you don't want to tell a mother or father that we're sorry it's taking so long to bring the person who has committed a crime against your family to trial, but we just don't have the resources.
Resources that, so far, the county has made a priority to provide. Kristen Majorano, News Channel 18.
Tomorrow night on News Channel 18, we'll take you inside the county jail as we examine how much it costs to keep criminals behind bars. And for a breakdown of some of these numbers, go to WLFI.com.